Hi everyone. Hi Mom. Okay, this envelope journal is for a swap on Junk Journal Junkies. And I don't know, I just really wanted to make something like this because it's so different than, what I normally do. The colors being something I would never use. And actually the paper line is really wild. I put it in the garage sale, but paper didn't really sell this time, so I ended up bringing a bunch home. And when I heard about the swap, it just was like, wow, I know what to use that paper for. And yeah, I think it suits this. Now, it's called Marrakesh by Basic Gray. And I believe I bought the whole paper pack. I didn't use it all. I basically used 2 sheets of it. Well, no, maybe 3 or 4. So anyway, that's what I did to the front. This is a Tattered Florals by Tim Holtz. This is a Sizzix die, which is, what's it called? I wrote all this stuff down so I wouldn't forget. Vines with Leaves. This was a brad I've had forever, and I just alcohol inked it because I didn't like the color. I did some layering, as you can see. There's a tag that I just ran through a Cuttlebug. The images I downloaded almost exclusively from My Fairy. No, hang on. I wrote it down. Graphics Fairy. So they are free printables. And then obviously I used the seam binding closure, and then I finally used one of these bottle caps that I've had forever. Cut out one of the images. I printed them up in this size, real small. And then when I got them printed, I thought, nah, that's a little bit too small. But I thought about the bottle cap closure. I was laying in the sun and all of a sudden, bang, the idea hit me. And I thought, ooh, that'd be cool. So that's what I did. And I added a little charm. And it's a little, I don't know what those little dolls are called, but, I think they're Russian dolls. Anyway, I thought it was adorable, and there's a dingle bell in there too somewhere. So it's just a wind around, closure. Did it the same way I normally do with the 2 eyelets here. Threaded it through, so it's nice and strong, won't rip apart. And there you can see the front a little bit better. I did decoupage everything. So it's nice and sturdy. This is cardstock on the front, so that makes it sturdy. And then what I do is, this was actually easy to do because it was the envelope was too big. It had to be a 6x9 finished, like folded in half. Mine was about an inch too big, so I ended up taking the envelope apart. So I opened it up, and then what I did was I took some Tyvek, which I've told you before is what security envelopes are made from, and I laid it inside along the spine edge, so it's nice and strong in the spine. A gel medium, no, I decoupaged that all on. I used decoupage exclusively this time. And then I glued, so while this is opened, I put decoupage on this side so that this envelope is now stuck together on this side, and then left the pocket side opened here. So it's really sturdy because there's cardstock on the outside and on the inside, as well as being decoupaged together. So it should hold up nicely. The papers all had to be coffee or tea stained. There had to be at least 10 patterned papers. Now I'm hoping that I did this right, and that it wasn't 10 individually different papers, because if that's the case, then I didn't do it right. I have, I think, 6 or 7 different patterns, but I have, I don't know, 12 at least. I think 12 at least of the papers. Plus you had to include some blank tea stain. There wasn't a limit, so I think I added 4 sheets of that. And it had to be a pamphlet stitch, which is what I've done here on the spine. And I think there were probably a few other things, which I hope I've done. And if not, then I'll have to bow out and keep the journal. I hope I did it right. Anyways, You had to create, oh yeah, you had to have so many of these images. I can't remember how many, but I have more than what was required. So the first one I just backed on a piece of, yeah, this is part of the collection, this piece, and I just tea stained the back of it. These are all the tattered florals. I used some magicals. Those are those leaves too. That's a Sizzix. Then I also used some homemade enamel dots. They're from Shirley, Nikki, and myself. So there's a mixture. I did a bunch of stamping. I think they're stamping on pretty much every single blank page unless it was covered with something. And then I pulled out some of these that I had tea stained, and I just dressed them up a little bit by stamping around the edge. This is from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. Her collection is from this is Mabel's Diary, and it's just a cute little envelope that on the same page was the stamp, so I just glued that on there. One of my doily dies, and this is a different pattern paper from the same collection. So I just did, you know, a bunch of layering and tuck spots. Made a banner clip. These are the Irene clips, and I went simple. This trim is from Lori Turley sent me a bunch of different trims a while back, and so I've been using up gifts like this one as well. There's another image. So some paper clips are blank, and I put 2 banners in there as well. Like I said, lots of stamping. Now this I had printed out as a 5x7. I had printed a couple images thinking I was going to use it in the front. Changed my mind, but I really love the image. So I stenciled it a little bit with a doily. This is what I did, was I covered a doily with embossing powder, and that way I can use it as a stencil. I did a couple of tabs throughout, not a lot. You'll find no fibers as well. I went kind of back to basics a little bit. It was really chunky, and I wanted it to close. So also included some of this yumminess that was sent to me by Angie from My Fairy Treasures. And there's just, I mean, I love it. I love this stuff. So I included some of that in here as well. Love this paper. It's the Best of K & Company. So it is actual paper weight. It's not cardstock. Again, another one of the cards, another image that I did back again on some of the leftover paper. You know, just, yeah, okay, I'll stop talking. I'll just flip. And I think 4 of the pages I folded over to make 3/4 size pages. Again, this is from Angie. Belly band, this is from Angie. Isn't this one amazing? That one's so cool. This is a tuck spot as well. And this is from Angie, the background here, super cool, but it's a great journaling spot. And this I just kept folding paper until I got this look. You can see the seams if you, I don't know if it'll show, but maybe. Anyway, folded it over, inked it up. This I used the leftover, this is all I had left of this paper, so I had enough to make an envelope. Cut a Spellbinder's die and as a tuck, and then there's another little image in there, so it's just basically to hold the flap down. So this is where I sewed through, so you can only see a little bit of the thread. This is my favorite image out of all of them. Love this image. There's another one of the clips that I made. Now this is a Stampin' Up! Stamp that I've never used. I've had it forever. It's Stippled Flowers, I think it's called, something like that. It's an oldie. Anyway, I decided to use the base stamp, which is almost solid, and then the idea is to stamp on top of that with a different color. Well, I used It's called Peridot embossing powder, so it's actually turned out pretty cool. I love this page. I love the colors in this. And the tea really worked well. It's actually from Nova Scotia, so there, whoever gets it has Canadian tea on their pages. And then cut down one of the images and used it as a layering spot. Oh, and I actually added a paint chip. I've never done that before. I was thinking of doing one of my walls this color in my living room. And anyway, I backed it with some tea-dyed printer paper. She's pretty, isn't she? And another image. I hope this is all showing up. I love how dark this page went. Super awesome. And this is a bunch of layering here. This doily is sprayed with Lindy's. It's my new sepia color. This is another image from Ephemeris Vintage Garden, and I backed it onto manila cardstock, so you can actually journal on that. This is just run through a Cuttlebug. Kind of looks like script. And then this is a Spellbinders little cutout. Anyway, and I again used the Judikins diamond glaze on that. I think she's pretty too. This here is the same image that I just showed you, and I cut out around the rose, and then I tucked in the photo, which I covered with diamond glaze. And when I backed it on a piece of leftover file folder, this part was sticking up, so I thought, oh, that looks kind of cool. I left it and just stamped on it. And that's it, you guys. That is my journal. I really hope it meets all the qualifications. You can see that I did allow for how fat the journal is by giving it a gusset. And because it is backed front and inside with cardstock, this little guy, she's not dry yet. I'll have to try and mold her back into place. Yeah, it's nice and sturdy. So again, just wind it around and then just tuck this behind. It's a little bit of a pain, I think, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, that's it. It's my journal. So if you like it, thumbs up. That'd be awesome. And hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.